I'm Sara Sach, and welcome to Coffee and Crochet with Sara and Callie. This is my granddaughter Callie, and we are broadcasting to you from Mustang, Oklahoma. So we safely arrived here. I have very little furniture. And just as a joke, we set up a green screen. And this is a picture of my yarn room from Colorado. So yeah, it's just a green screen. I don't know if you can tell. It's not real. But I didn't want to have a blank wall behind me. So my husband said, just take a picture and I'll make you a green screen photo. And so he set it all up for us. It's a little fuzzy. We look a little weird. It's okay. As my grandson says, I'm weird, but in a good way. So anyway, those of you who are just tuning in, I am Sara Sach, and this is my granddaughter, Callie, and she's getting ready to have a birthday. She's going to be 13. She's going to be a teenager. Alrighty, now I'm going to give you a little bit of an update about what's going on with us with our move. I've got a pattern to show you that we did yesterday and just get you caught up on answering a couple of questions that I had through the last couple weeks. But first, we need to clink in. I did pack one of my mugs. Coffee and Crochet with Sara mug. Oh, clinkety clink, clink, clink. I'm having a little trouble here. So just so you know, it's going to be a little impromptu today. It's not going to be our typical run through all the things we have to do and things like that. It's going to be a little bit of fun and a little bit of impromptu. So let me catch you up on what's going on with where we're at. We decided not to buy the original house that we were going to buy. After we saw the inspection, there were some things in it that just weren't kosher with what we wanted to do. And so we decided to look for a rental. We're in a rental here, and it's a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood. And the people that we rented from are super nice. And it's a nice size house, and it has this room that I am in that is a office or den. And so we're going to take this over for now and use it for my yarn room. That's why you see that screen behind me that is a green screen, which is a picture of my yarn room in Colorado. I kind of wanted a picture of it anyway, so I can maybe set it up similar. I'm sure it's not going to be as neat or the same, but we're still going to have some fun with it. And so what we're doing is, since we're renting a home here, in Mustang, which is where Callie and her mom, which is Elizabeth, my daughter, and her daddy, Shelby, and her brother, they live here in Mustang as well. So she's showing me the ropes so I can get used to seeing what there is in Mustang, which is really, it's just outside of Oklahoma City. And y'all know Hobby Lobby is located in Oklahoma City. We drove by the warehouses. They're humongous. I realize they're not all full of yarn, but they're humongous. So anyway, we're going to stay in this house probably 6 months, maybe a year. We don't know. We haven't decided whether we're just going to look for another house or maybe look for some property and build. We haven't decided yet. We're just going to see what's out there. I really want to stay in this area, though. I really like it. It's a hometown sort of area with Oklahoma City and Yukon and some other areas that are close. And so in Mustang, there is not a yarn store. And I'll have to tell you, the the Walmart here is a really nice Walmart, but they don't have a very big yarn section. And so I'll probably be heading into Oklahoma City or Yukon. Yukon has a Hobby Lobby. I haven't located where there's a Michael's yet or a Joann, so I'll have to find those. Don't worry, I will. Alrighty, so that's kind of what we're doing. We're gonna rent this house from a really nice couple here. here in Mustang and just look around some of the areas and see where we might want to either buy a house or build. We haven't decided yet. One thing is for sure, renting and buying is so much cheaper down here than it was in Colorado. The housing market up there is just crazy. But anyway, my husband, we don't have all our furniture, like I said. If you saw my preview video, I'm standing in front of a fireplace and there's no furniture anywhere. That's because we had all our stuff packed up last week, and then we went ahead and came down here. We brought our mattress, some of my equipment, my table and computers and things, so I could still do what I do. And my husband's computer, we brought our bar stool so we could sit up at the bar and have breakfast in the morning. But anyway, he went back this morning. He flew back, and he's making sure everything's put on the truck, all of our stuff. And then we're going to bring it here. Some of it we're going to use, some of it we're going to store, until we decide. This house is a little bit smaller than the house that we had in Colorado. And so we're just going to leave some of it in storage, and some of it we're giving away to a couple of guys. In case you don't know, one of the reasons we're moving down here is my son is moving his business down here. And some of the gentlemen that work with him are setting up households down here as well. And we're going to give them some of our extra furniture that we're not going to need. We have an extra bed and a couch and ottoman, things like that we're not going to need. And so we'll let them use those in their places, you know. But I'm super happy to be down here. Y'all, if y'all don't know this, I was born in Iowa, but from the time I was, I think, 3, we moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's where I was raised. And after my husband left the Air Force, after he retired, we brought our kids back to Tulsa and raised them there. So I'm an Oklahoma girl, and I love Oklahoma. I don't love June bugs, and I don't love the humidity, but I love Oklahoma. What is it they say? Down in the South, you get June bugs, snakes, and spiders or something. I can't remember. You know, and so we're going to investigate and see what all the beautiful things here that we haven't got to see lately. You know, yeah, it's different than Colorado. It really is. There's no mountains, you know, but we used to vacation in Colorado all the time. So we'll probably be back up there, check it out a time or two on vacations, okay? So we are in Mustang, Oklahoma, coming to you live in front of this silly, sparkly green screen. Does it look sparkly to you all? It looks sparkly to me on my screen. So anyway, is my son and his family here yet? My son is here helping to set up the shop, and although they got what's it called, a bid to sell their house, our house hasn't sold yet either. But their house, they got someone to put a bid in on it. And so his wife is staying up there getting everything taken care of. And as soon as that's taken care of, they'll come down here. I think they're going to stay with us until they find a house as well. But, yeah, we're just going to have some fun, take it as it goes, and have joy every day. It's not always easy, okay? Don't misunderstand me. It is not always easy. Like the thunderstorm we had yesterday, and I forgot about how Oklahoma has tremendous thunderstorms. They're loud and they're beautiful. So I forgot. I remember now. So anyway, I don't mind that the back screen looks sparkly. It's just kind of fun. Like I said, it's a green screen. It's not real. There's actually just a beige wall behind there with my green screen curtain. I used to use the green screen all the time, and I just kind of got away from it. So, but anyway, I didn't want you to look at a blank wall, so we put that up there. All right, so we talked about that. Now, I did want to talk about a question that I have been getting the last couple of weeks, and I usually get this every year because people are wanting to crochet for summer, and they're wondering, well, is cotton cooler than acrylic? And really, it depends. Because if you make a cotton hat, and it's a solid cotton hat, it's really not going to be any cooler than acrylic. The difference is the cotton's going to absorb sweat. Okay? Now, If you make, say, a hat out of acrylic, but it's wholly like it's a open weave or maybe V-stitches or some sort of a open shell stitch that is open, it might be cooler. So it's hard to say. I don't always crochet with cotton in the summer, and I don't always just wear cotton in the summer. And so it's kind of a preference, and it depends on the stitch that you use. One thing to remember about cotton is when you're crocheting with it, a lot of times it might be stiff or even a little bit dry. But once you put it through the wash and it absorbs it absorbs that moisture and it gets that sizing off of the cotton, because a lot of manufacturers do put like a sizing on that. It's a I don't really know what it's made out of, but it gives it the ability to slide better on your crochet hook. And also your mercerized cotton is going to act a little bit different as well. I mean, and you know the difference when you buy, say, a sugar and cream or peaches and cream cotton, opposed to, say, I love this cotton or mercerized cotton that's a lot softer. They're going to act differently, of course, in the laundry. But cotton usually is absorbent, which is why we like to use it a lot for washcloths and things like that. But you have to remember, when you're cleaning and it gets yucky and dirty, wash that baby, because it's going to absorb all the smell and all the yuck, okay? So it's going to need to be washed more. So, and sometimes cotton can be very difficult to work with if you're using some of the stiffer cottons. And so keep that in mind as well, that when you're crocheting, say, a hat, and you're using maybe a stiff cotton, put it through the laundry one time and you'll see it's a lot softer. One thing that I do to make the cotton softer is, instead of putting a little bit of softener, fabric softener, in that little slot for the fabric softener, I'll add a teaspoon, depending on how big the load is, of vinegar, white vinegar. White vinegar will take out the smell in cotton, and it will also make it softer, okay? And that's something that I do a lot of times, even with my white towels. I don't always do it with some of my darker towels and things. I don't know why. I don't think it'll bleach it any. It's just a little bit of vinegar and it gets out smell. So it's a good idea. If you have a cat or a dog that maybe made an accident in your house, 50-50 white vinegar, plain white water, 50-50, and clean up the spot and then spray it with that white vinegar and then let it dry and vacuum over it, and it will help them not return to that spot if they had an accident. We're in a rental house here, and so I want to be very careful. My dogs rarely have accidents. The only times they do is when we have really hard snows, and they're like, I am not going outside. And so I keep potty pads. I'll put them on in Colorado, we had a wood floor, and I would put it on the wood floor by the door, because a lot of times I don't see them sitting over there. They're wanting to go outside, and it's super snowy, and I'll let them out, and they're like, I am not going out in that cold. And so I'll use a potty pad. But yeah, if you have animals that accidentally make a mistake, 50 of white vinegar, 50 water, clean it right up and get rid of the smell. If they don't like the smell of the vinegar, plus it gets rid of nasty smell. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about that. It's one of those things. The vinegar will soften up your towels, your lingerie. It'll soften up your cotton, anything that has, especially if it has cotton in it, it'll soften it up and get rid of smell. You know, your towels, even though you wash them, sometimes they can get a little mildewy smell. So anyway, that's that. I told you we were kind of impromptu today, right? Now, last week we did do a couple of videos, and I don't have those items with me. We did the Summer Breeze wrap shawl, which comes out nice and wide, has a tie on it, so you can wear it over your shoulders, you can wear it off your shoulders, you can wrap it around your waist, and you'll find that link to that down in the notes under this video, as well as on my YouTube channel, and of course on Ravelry. The other thing we did was, I just lost my train of thought. What did we do? Oh, we did the Pop of Color scarf, skinny scarf. It's a really fun project. It's a great way to use up some of your leftover yarns. It takes very little yarn, and you can just mix and match your yarns all you want to. And also, that pattern is a medium weight number 4. If you want to make it in cotton yarns, you can. The fun part about it is we start with those long tails, and then we make those tails into a tassel on the end, so you have a tassel on the end of both of them. You could add beads on those tassels or buttons or whatever you want to, just to dress it up a bit. But it's a great way to add just maybe a pop of color to a nice outfit or summer outfit. You know, it's just fun. It's just one of those fun things. And if you make it a little bit longer, you can always use it as a belt. You know, I like to wear like a big t-shirt and then add a belt to it just to accentuate the waist a little. All right, so this week I decided we're going to have a patriotic week. Flag Day's coming, 4th of July, Memorial Day, then, you know, later on, other patriotic holidays. But it's always fun to have some patriotic patterns. All right, and so we did let me move this. We did the mug rugs. Let me pop over there for a second. Here's the mug rugs. We made 2. This one is without the fringe, and this one is with the fringe, and they work great. Kelly's over here yawning. She must be tired. And so you can do them both ways and stripe it how you want to. And the neat thing about this pattern is if you're not really into making patriotic style decorations, or maybe you're not from America and you don't want to use American flag, this is all single crochet, and you can stripe this however you want to. Do whatever you want. It's just all single crochet, and it's a great beginner project. It's just a fun little mug rug, and if you want to add fringe just to make it look like a rug, you can. And it's super easy, super fun, and I just like to do some patriotic patterns. Now I have a patriotic pattern coming out for you tomorrow as well. And then I have one for our Friday fun day on Friday. I am going to do my best to get back to normal. And as my husband says, there is no normal. It's just a setting on your dryer. And even that's not normal. So we're going to do the best we can to kind of get going back into our schedule. But if things are weird or not the way they should be, don't panic. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, did you see that? Don't panic. We're going to do the best we can to keep things going. And I've got lots of fun ideas for the summer and stuff like that. So it's always an adventure. Life is an adventure. And you have to just grab it and go with it. I always say, buckle up, Buttercup. We got a lot going on. So anyway, that is all I've got for you today. Our video is not going to be real long today. I didn't want to keep you too long. I'm going to take a quick glance, see if there's any questions real quick. Your granddaughter's a very nice young lady. Yes, she is. She is an artist. She's a girl after my own heart. She loves to draw and paint and color, and she sings. She's in the honor choir at school, and she sings in the youth choir at church. So yeah, she is. And look at her blouse. Isn't this gorgeous? This is one of the pioneer women blouses from Ree Drummond. I don't know if y'all watch her. I love her. And I bought one of her shirts on Sunday, and she was telling me this one's on clearance. And we're going to go and see if we can find Walmart today. And I want to see if I can find me some new blouses. I need some new ones, although I love my Yarnology one. So anyway, she looks like you. Oh, thank you. It's because my daughter looks like me and she looks like her mommy. Although sometimes when she gets that attitude on her face, she looks like her dad. Actually, her and her brother both are super tall. And I love that because most of my family were super short. And so her brother is way taller. I think he's like 6 foot already. Isn't he like 6 foot just about? 5'11". Anyway, Aiden is 14. And like I said, Callie's almost 13. And then y'all seen Zoe a few times. She'll be down here soon. And she's almost 10. Can you believe my grandkids are growing up so fast? All right, let me take a quick look, see if there's any more questions I didn't miss. How are Max and Rosie adjusting? Okay, so the weirdest thing is Rosie's doing fantastic. You know, she was having seizures and struggling, my little red chihuahua. And now she's got her little poof. She's over there sound asleep. I'd show you, but I didn't bring my roaming camera. Because, you know, I have like 5 or 6 cameras that I set around the room. I didn't bring them. And so she's over there sound asleep. Maximo, on the other hand, is having some tummy issues now. But I think maybe I fed him too many snacks on the trip. He loves to eat pizza bones. And the pizza bones, you know, are the crust. And then we like to get the sausage sandwiches, you know. I can't have American cheese, but I can have cheddar. But I always get just the sausage and the biscuit. Well, I probably gave him too much of the sausage, and it's messed his stomach up. I just can't. It's hard for me not to treat my dogs. I give them, you know, little bits of what I'm eating. I know there are certain things they can't have, so I try to remember that. But it's hard when they're looking at you with those, you know, those little eyes, and they're like, it's hard not to give it to them, especially when, you know, we're moving and, you know, but they are great travelers. They really, really are. We have a routine down when we travel. We go like halfway. We stay in a hotel. They love that. And we try to, there's one, I think it's in Salina or Hayes, Kansas. I can't remember which one. And they have a really nice dog park there. And we let the dogs out and let them run. So anyway, if you ever travel from Colorado to Oklahoma, it's either Hayes, Kansas, or Salina. I think it might be Hayes. It has a really nice dog park. One of the really cool things that used to be in the past, a lot of places weren't dog friendly. You couldn't stay at you know, very many hotels that would let you bring your dogs. I take my dogs with me inside the store. You know, my husband Keith, he puts Max under his one arm and carries him around. I have Rosie. Of course, she takes 2 arms because she weighs about 9 pounds now. And I take him in with me to the bathroom, you know, and I get him water, you know. People are really friendly about it nowadays, and I just really, really love that because it used to be hard to travel with dogs. Years ago, we had a black lab named Angel, and I just love that dog. She actually was a birthday present for my son when he was 5 or 6. Good dog. But I remember when we were traveling with her, it was really hard to find places to stay, and, you know, you don't want to leave your dog in the car, but they wouldn't let you take the dog inside. And that was always the struggle. And so there's none of that anymore. I'm telling you, people are super friendly to people with animals and hotels. You may have to charge, you know, they may charge you an extra $10 or something, but it's totally worth it. It really, really is. Although you can't take them in the swimming pool. They don't like that. So anyway, I said all that to say this. Max and Rosie are doing pretty good. Max will be fine. Usually with my dogs, if they have some tummy issues, I just give them a little extra pumpkin. Pumpkin is really good for tummy issues for puppies, you know, dogs. And so and it'll give him a day, about 24 hours, and he'll be fine. So anyway, I'm checking to see if there's any more questions. All right, I think that's about it today. I know it's been a little bit silly but I didn't want to go another week without doing a live video. We should have our stuff Friday or Saturday, and maybe by Tuesday I'll have some yarn set up. We'll see. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think I'll have real yarn set up next week? Or not? Kimberly's asking real pumpkin. Okay, so here's the deal with the pumpkin. I buy the canned organic pumpkin from Sprouts for my dogs. They also have canned pumpkin in the dog section that is actually made for dogs. But another thing that I do, and I've talked about this in the past, is during the month of October, a lot of people are getting pumpkins. They use them for decoration, then they get rid of them. And so I tell all my friends, if you're going to get rid of your pumpkin, even if you've carved it, make sure there's no wax inside, cut the stem off, and then I chop it up into little bitty pieces and put them in my crock pot. And I even use the shell, the whole thing. Not the seeds. I roast those. Yum, yum. Roast those with salt and cayenne pepper. Yum, yum in the oven. But all the other parts of the pumpkin, the shell, and the meat of the pumpkin, but just not the guts. We used to call it the guts of the pumpkin. I chop it in little bitty pieces, put it in my crock pot, I cook it down, and I can it. And then I have real pumpkin also. But you can use canned pumpkin. Just make sure, read the label, make sure there's no added salt and no added sugar. Because a lot of pumpkins, canned pumpkin that you get, if you read the label, sometimes they add extra stuff to it. A lot of canned pumpkin does have squash in it, and that's okay. Because a lot of times they use that to sort of make it a little bit creamier. That's okay. It is. But canned pumpkin, but if you find the roasted, I saw she said roasted pumpkin seeds. Yum, they are. The canned pumpkin, if you can find organic, you can use that. But if you can't find organic, and I give my dogs every meal, they eat 2 times a day. I give them a teaspoon of pumpkin with their breakfast and with their afternoon lunch is what I call it. Because they eat early, like with me, like 6 in the morning, and then I give them about 2 o'clock another meal. So they eat twice a day. And I give them both a teaspoon of pumpkin for every meal. And it's good for tummies. If your dogs have gland issues, it helps with that. It gives them fiber, and then it also soothes their stomach. And the truth of the matter is, it's good for us too. If you ever make brownies or pumpkin bread, zucchini bread, any of those cake or breads like that, you can add pumpkin to it. It's really good for you. My mom used to make the, I can't have it anymore because I'm allergic to cinnamon, but she would get the spiced cake mix. And all she would put in it is a can of pumpkin. She'd mix them together and make bread. She wouldn't add any eggs. She wouldn't add any of the other ingredients. And it's really good for you because it does give you fiber and good nutrients from pumpkin. It's good for your kidneys and also your liver as well. Little more FYI. Alrighty, so what was that? Okay, I thought it was a question. All right, so I'm gonna let you go. It's been so much fun. I know it's been silly, but it's been so much fun to talk with you all. All of my friends, all my yarny friends in our crochet community. We're a bunch of sillies, aren't we? Because we love our yarn and we love to crochet. And again, I can't do any of this without all of you. So thank you for being a part of my crochet channel. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.